We begin news this morning with breaking news, a possible movement in a deal to free the hostages held in Gaza. And we know they include Israelis and Americans and people actually from 24 countries. A tentative deal first reported in the Washington Post that a U.S. brokered plan with Israel and Hamas would free dozens of women and children held in Gaza in return for a 5-day pause in fighting. Those are the headlines of what we know, and for whatever details are available right now, Israel's Consul General to Florida, Maor Elbaz Starinsky, is joining us from a rally in Hollywood on the release of those hostages. That rally planned even before this news was released. Good morning, Consul General. I just want to let everyone know you have been so gracious to do this kind of spontaneously with us at that rally. That's why we have a phone signal with you. What can you tell us about the details of what is a possible agreement is being framed like that?
Thank you very much again for having me and for covering this horrendous story throughout the past few weeks. If I just may add, it's not only a rally. You can see over here I'm holding my motorcycle helmet, and we're going to do a parade of motorcycles and cars in support and solidarity with Israel, and of course calling to the release of the 240 hostages. This story, of course, very, very grave. About the 240 hostages that are suffering, rotting in the tunnels of Hamas. Children have already been murdered by Hamas in captivity, and this is a terrible, terrible story. While, of course, it is a very, very delicate issue with what right and justice on the media or in public in general. I can tell you that we are getting closer, but more than that, we are determined to do whatever is needed to get this hospital back home safely and swiftly.
Let me just ask you about if this comes to pass, do you have details on who would be released? We're understanding women and children, exactly how many would be released and what the pause would look like in fighting, how that differs from a ceasefire.
Well, things aren't exactly that are being negotiated at the moment, and while we are indeed getting closer, there are still a few serious differences. And if I may remind everybody, we are dealing with a very, very terroristic organization.
All right, it looks like, oh, here we go.
Can you hear? Not only that we need to bridge the gap that we currently have, we also need to make sure that whatever agreement we do is fulfilled, is implemented, and that the officers that are coming back home do it as soon as possible. We will not compromise on any operational goal that we have set to this war, regardless of any possible ceasefire or humanitarian relief or whatever you want to call it.
So let me just, if I can, let me just press a little bit on what you say. The operational goals are uncompromisable, which is the elimination of the terror network and Hamas's ability to function in Gaza. But how can, I guess this is the big question for the last month, how can Israel accomplish that goal with minimizing the kind of civilian casualties that right now really have world attention and an uproar against the Israeli operation? And in stopping for 5 days, would that not allow Hamas to possibly regroup, rearm?
Well, you hit the nail on the head, Lena. These are the most acute questions that we are dealing with, and there are other questions. What is going to be the fate of the other hostages? How can you run a war aiming at eliminating Hamas while they are holding 240 hostages, including babies, kids, etc., etc.? These are very, very valid, and I think maybe even unprecedented questions in wartime, certainly with such terroristic organizations. So the answer, and again, it's pause, whatever pause we may have, it will help them. It will help them get their act together. And so far, our military operation is going as planned. We are moving forward with dismantling the terror infrastructure for the time being in the northern part of the Gaza Strip. We are very aware of the danger it poses both to the hostages that Hamas is holding, but also, of course, to the humanitarian suffering in the Gaza Strip. We are not blind, and we are not turning our eyes out of it. That's why we are trying to do whatever we can to relieve this dire situation. That's why we have allowed them to evacuate to the southern part where they are safer. That's why we are having 100 trucks a day, more than 100 trucks a day, with humanitarian supplies coming into the southern part of the Gaza Strip. We are carrying whatever action we can to make sure that no civilians, no uninvolved civilians are affected. At the same time, we do need to remember that the Gazans are suffering first and foremost from the vicious regime of Hamas. Yeah. Hamas has taken hostage not only our 240 citizens, but also the 2 million citizens of Gaza, and are exploiting the hospitals and the schools and the mosques and ambulances and whatnot in order to carry out vicious terroristic attacks at Israel. So I think this question or this concern should be addressed first and foremost to Hamas and to its supporter. But at the same time, I do understand, and I fully commit, as I've done, we are fully committed to the state of Israel, as we've done in the past, and as we will forever do, to completely abide by the international law, by the international humanitarian law, by the laws of warfare, and we are doing whatever we can.
All right, we have a difficult audio situation. I want to just, I'm not sure, do we have the Consul General back?
You do, I'm here.
Oh, there you go. Okay, we lost your audio for a moment. Before I let you go, Consul General, I know this is really tough technology, and I appreciate everybody hanging in there with us. I want to bring it home just for a moment. Last weekend, after this program, there was a rally locally in South Beach, and video emerged from that of a young woman with her family pushing a stroller, yelling about something about how Hitler got it right. And I wonder, as Consul General of this state and that neighborhood included, how you react to that, how you process that.
Well, there are two parts to this kind of question. First of all, third part is thank you for bringing it up and not taking it, not trivializing it, and not dismissing it. Thank you for bringing it up, because it is important that there is a spot on these people. And in general, and that's my first point that I wanted to raise, is it looks as if not only in Florida, unfortunately also here in our neighborhood, in our community, but around the world and around this great country, it looks as if evil has raised its hand. Evil was just unleashed, just waiting for the opportunity to lash at or to come out against the Jews wherever they are. And it is motivated by ignorance. It is motivated by radicalism. It is motivated by just pure bad sentiment that is indoctrinated into many people. So we cannot tolerate that, and these people should be have the spotlight on, and they should really.
And we will continue to do that very much. Consul General, I'm going to let you go. It looks like the rally is starting up, and we so do appreciate that you were, even with this kind of glitchy technology, able to be with us. I'm grateful that you were able to sort of wing it with us this morning.
Thank you, Glenn. Have a nice day.